Yeah, you serve first. No bad bounces. No bad bounces anytime. Yeah, just no, not even on the serve. I can call slides on the serve. That's it. There's no bad bounces. Yeah. That's it. Nothing. Play everything. I think if it hits this, then it's over. But other than that, it's play everything. Yeah, and if it goes over, yeah, play it again. All right, 0 serve 0. Serve 0. Side out. 0 serves 1. Serves 1. 1 serves 1. Side out. 1 serves 1. Side out. 1 serves 1. Point. 2 serves 1. 1, serves 4. Court. Second serve. Point. 2, serves 4. Court. Second serve. Side out. Four, serves 2. Right out. Four, serves 2. Point. Yeah. 3, serves 4 now. 3, serves 4. Point. 4, serves 4. Lay out. 4, serves 4.
Welcome to the Race for 8 Pro Stop number 5 here in Denver, Colorado, picking up action early here in this match against Vic Perez taking on Andy Schad. Vic Perez was ranked in the top 12. He slid down to number 17, taking on a guy who was ranked in the top 12 throughout much of the late 90s and early 2000s, Andy Schad. Andy making a comeback of sorts to pro handball after living overseas for nearly 4 years. Came back and showing that he still got it. These guys play a very similar style. I think we're going to see a really close match, probably a very long match as well. Will be interesting to see how much the altitude affects both these guys. Both these guys live at sea level. Andy now living in Virginia, Vic Perez living in Southern California.
Four, serves 5.
We're here at the Denver Athletic Club, truly one of the most beautiful facilities that you could ever see. One of the best facilities I've ever seen to host a handball tournament. The staff here and the tournament director so excited about having the WPH here, hosting this Race for 8, senior Race for 8 stop. Already today it's been Executive Director Dave Vincent beating Dan Armijo 26-24. Very strange ending to that match. Dave Vincent will take on the winner of Anthony Celesto and Mike Semplis. Beautiful whip there from Vic Perez. Tremendous back ball flat kill. It's one of Andy Schad's best shots. The deep 2-ball pass gets behind Vic there, and he can hit that with both hands.
5, serves 5.
I think a lot of players will be using this lob serve here in Denver with this altitude. Very difficult to push yourself through an entire match. You really have to pace yourself, as it's very difficult to get air into those lungs.
6, serves 5.
Tremendous shot there from Vic, a revolving door left-handed left corner kill. Most guys would take that with their right and shoot it straight back down the right. Vic turns his body and shoots it in the left corner nearly flat. We haven't seen any rallies less than 9 shots here, and that's about what we'd expect. Double-digit rallies here. Both these guys like to keep the ball alive and both make a lot of great gets. Andy stays with that reverse hop, waits for it, drives the ball back down the right. This is just round of 16 action here in race for 8, number 5 here in Denver, Colorado. This field is so deep. We've got a former top 12 pro taking on another former top 12 pro in the first round. Normally this would be a qualifier final, maybe even a first round 9 through 12 match. But due to this incredibly stacked draw, we're seeing guys that would normally be walking into the qualifier finals having to really play their way in.
Short. Second serve.
And he got a pretty good setup from that Z serve. We'll see if he sticks with it. Andy hits a lot of shovel shots and attempted paddle kills with his left. That time the ball hung up in that left corner. Vic overhits that serve and Andy makes him pay.
Seven, serve 6.
Another beautiful back wall kill there from Vic Perez.
6 or 7.
And now you see Vic going to this soft serve to the left. Andy's got a tremendous left-handed defensive return.
Point.
Vic, a product of Lake Forest College handball program.
7, serve 7.
Andy honed his game in Tucson, Arizona throughout the 90s and into the 21st century. Now it looks like Andy is having a hard time getting his wind here. A couple of sloppy airs, just unable to make that extra half a step to get himself in position.
8, serve 7.
Vic had some momentum there, but puts a deep court kill shot attempt into the floor.
7, serves 8.
This match is 17 minutes old, and we've only had 15 points scored combined. We could very well be looking at a 1.5 hour, one-game match to 25 here. Remember, it is win by 2, and there is halftime after the first player scores 15 points.
Oh, sorry. 8 serves 7, right? Yeah, that was my bad. 8 serves 7. There from Schad. That was his patented shot about 10 years ago. Wouldn't be surprised to see him rediscover that shot as he gets himself closer to where he was after a long layoff. 8 serves 8.
This is bonus coverage here from Denver, Colorado, the Denver Athletic Club. Round of 16 qualifier action. We've never broadcasted the round of 16 qualifiers before. Made the exception in this event just because of how many great matchups there are here early in the day. Another back wall kill from Andy as he takes a big breath, trying to get some air into those lungs.
9 serves 8.
Sound, Vic Perez catching that perfectly. The ball hit the front wall about a ½ inch high and just rolled out flat. Beautiful serve there from Vic. Oh, our young referee calling that short. I'm right on top of this line. That ball was just about 2 inches over the line. The best serve that Vic has hit. No argument though from Vic, and no lines people either. We are here live from the Denver Athletic Club. Bonus coverage here, round of 16 qualifier action. I'm David Fink. I'm welcoming in my illustrious broadcast partner, esteemed Dave Vincent. Dave, welcome into the booth here. I know that you just had a big win against Dan the Hand Army. Some might say controversial. I'm just going to call it a big win, and now you're going to take in a few matches before you'll be in your first ever qualifier final.
Second serve.
Well, thank you, first of all, for the introduction, and I'm not quite sure what the controversy was. The referee called the score, I served it.
Yeah.
Dan was arguing the previous play, and I walked off the court and got a shower. So,
no,
as far as I know, I'm still in the tournament. I'm not quite sure.
There's no controversy there.
That's a nice get right there from Vic Perez. Dave, you're watching live as we can see you in the camera angle. If you look up to the far right, that's us waving down into the court. You're watching live as I watch on the high definition monitors here. This is simply one of the best visuals we've ever had at one of our live broadcasts with Vic Perez serving. I mean, look at this crystal clear TV, Dave. And that ball just died up there.
Okay, play it again. 10, serves 9.
Dave, these guys are so evenly matched. They play such a similar style. About 20 years separates these guys, Dave, but you wouldn't know it. Andy's still one of the fittest guys you'll see out here at these events. Vic is always fit. They even have a similar disposition, Dave. Are these guys separated birth by 20 years? Does that make sense?
You're right. I will be playing the winner of this one in the final, I believe, Dave.
I actually thought you were playing the winner of Anthony Celesto and Mike Semplis. I could be wrong.
If that's the case, then okay. All right, I'll go with that.
That's what I've advertised here, so I'd hate to have to retract that.
The score is 9-11, a moment of silence. And we're back.
And Andy's fooled as that ball just catches him off balance in that back left corner. Dave, how was it playing here in Denver? I know this is one of the most beautiful clubs and some of the best courts we've seen, but talk about the altitude a little bit. I know you're coming from Tucson, which is about 2,700 feet, and here I would say we're closer to 5,000 feet, Dave. I saw you breathing pretty hard, but you know, what's it like actually being in there in tournament conditions?
Well, Dave, I actually worked out a lot leading up to this tournament because of the embarrassing situation up there in Alaska, and sparred a lot with Luis Moreno. So I think my lung capacity is a little bit better, but what I can tell you is after about 20 shots, you're grasping for air that isn't there. And it will play effect on some of these guys that will go for some offensive shots when they probably don't mean to. So it's see who can rise above. And you're seeing a lot of these guys here toward the end of the rallies are losing the rallies on missed kill shots because they're actually going for it because they really have no more air left. And you're not seeing these guys at 15, 10 shots go up to the roof to keep the rallies going. You're seeing them bring the ball down lower. That's going to benefit guys like Sean Lenning and Luis Moreno who like to go for those kill shots, and yourself, Dave. Now, a guy like Anthony Celesto, who's going to have tons of energy, is going to be very difficult to play in an environment like this because he can dig deep and wear you down.
So it sounds like you're favoring all styles of play then.
Favoring the guys that have extreme athleticism. That's why I think a guy like Vic Perez, though these guys are evenly matched here, probably has the advantage because he might be in a little bit better shape.
Well, Andy Dave told me he's been doing 10-mile runs every morning at 5 a.m. Search 12. Point. 12, search 12. Right out. 12, search 12. Right out. Do something with left hand. 12, search 12. Point. 13, serves 12.
14, serves 12. Takes a step, he hits it, and then he like goes back.
Does it cross the line before he?
I don't think so. Like
It's still in the air.
Yeah. He lob serves? Yeah, it's definitely not past the back line. Where's the other guy at? Huh? I will too if he takes longer. You guys already passed the 3 minutes. Huh? Yeah, you guys already passed the 3 minutes.
are here in Denver, Colorado at the Denver Athletic Club. I want to keep saying Detroit Athletic Club because that's also, Dave, called the DAC. But
Yeah.
this DAC is similar in a way to the Detroit Athletic Club in the fact that there's a lot of prestige involved inside the facility. We had to ask if there was a dress code to get in because it is so classy here. The people, the employees are so nice and they're making our stay comfortable as the referee now calls the score here at 12-15 with Andy Schad from the East Coast up against Vic Perez, originally from the East Coast, now living in Southern California. Perez has actually qualified a couple times with the WPH.
Well, not only qualified, Dave, but he's made a couple of quarterfinal runs. And you remember him upsetting Charlie Shanks 12 months ago to make the round of 8 in Salt Lake City, where he nearly took down the blonde bombshell, Alan Garner. So Vic is no stranger, Dave, to high-level WPH competition. Andy, of course, Dave, ranked in the top 12 for a number of years, playing out of Tucson, Arizona in the late 90s and early 2000s. Of course, Andy, Dave, was working overseas for about 4 years, didn't get to touch a handball, and he's come back still really strong. And I think, Dave, that halftime is going to benefit Andy more than Vic here, because Andy was struggling there, Dave, going into halftime. It seemed like he'd lost his wind completely.
14, there's 15.
He turned a 3-minute halftime into 7.5 minutes, and now it seems like he's rejuvenated.
Well, that halftime really does play into your mind, Dave. I've talked to a lot of players that say when they're in the lead at 14, it's hard to get that last point.
It's interesting, Dave. That's how I've always felt, and it's interesting to hear that from other players as well.
Side out.
Particularly, Dave, when you have like a 14-10 lead and you just want to get to that 15th point so you can get into halftime, and it's almost like closing out a match.
It's like in a dream when you when you're falling and you think you're going to hit the ground, but it just never happens.
Oh.
And then you end up waking up.
I wouldn't know I was working that night.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful paddle shot there from Vic, Dave, and that's that hard paddle. We've seen the soft paddle, but now you're seeing players using that
16,
really
14.
fully accelerated paddle stroke, and they keep their wrist locked, Dave, and hand parallel with the floor, and the ball just rolls out if you hit it properly. I saw you go for a couple of those today, Dave, although I think yours were 4-wall paddles, where you just cup your hand and hit it as hard as you can and high as you can. I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe you were going for the bottom board. Hard to tell.
Those were all ceiling shot attempts that hit the bottom board.
Okay.
If I hit the bottom board, it's by complete accident. 14-16 score here, Andy Schad. Really good to see him at his 40-plus age playing in this qualifier. He could have been in the senior tour, but has a meeting out on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Or excuse me, Saturday morning.
Point.
And there he's at 15-16. These matches, Dave, to 25 are very entertaining for the fans.
15, 16.
A lot of players say, oh, you're only playing a game to 25. That doesn't count. But they're all going well over an hour in some cases, unless they're blowouts.
Well, Dave, I know that I've used this analogy before, but it's just as tiring to run a quarter of a mile of 400-yard dash as it is to run 10 miles. It's just because of how you pace yourself. You pace yourself differently in these 25-point games. I find it to be more tiring than a traditional match.
16, 16.
I know, Dave, that when we do our office pools on all these brackets, we've gotten so sophisticated that you have to actually write the score down also. And I know that you've got this, and I won't say who you have winning, but you've got a 25-22 result. I've got a 28-26. And of course, Dave, if you go over the total, you're forfeited. So I really took a chance there.
I didn't see that, so. Yeah.
Really extreme camera angles here. The visibility is just unbelievable, Dave. I know you're watching live over this semi-horseshoe shaped show court here at the Denver Athletic Club, but you can clearly see what is going on here on the court. And a nice serve and first strike from Andy Schad, and a timeout from Vic Perez. We're also going to take one. We'll be back in just a bit. For Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. This is bonus coverage, semifinals of the quarterfinals at the Denver Athletic Club for the WPH Race 4-8 and Colorado State Handball Championships. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick with us.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite.
Point. 19, 16.
Points, he's actually changed just a little bit here, going for that first strike. Now he's passing Vic. If he doesn't get that first strike, he might get the second, and here it is. It goes down low. I think he's changed his philosophy just a little bit.
Well, it looks to me, Dave, like Vic has lost some of his intensity. He's very flat-footed right now. It almost seems like he doesn't want to be there anymore, Vic Perez. You know, Dave, mentally, this is the challenge of being a professional athlete, is engaging in every point, particularly in these 25-point games. Dave, you can't just let points or stretches go. You'll be out of the tournament. And it looks like Vic could be on his way out here after building a pretty substantial halftime lead.
This is what altitude does to you, Dave.
Okay.
It really just makes you feel like you don't want to be there. And look at Vic, he's now just, I don't think he's given up. I think his lungs have given up.
But look at the 40-something Andy Schad, Dave, who looked like his lungs were giving up, and now all of a sudden looks as strong as he looked in 1995. The best part of Andy's game, Dave, was always his back wall. He was always steady returning serve, steady in the rallies, but if he got a back wall opportunity, he would literally flat roll it.
That was a terrible shot from Andy, and Vic's gonna make him pay, and now Vic's back into the server's box.
Well, Dave, Andy Schad plays a lot like Matt Hyber, where they like to use that stiff arm left and then really attack with their right hand, particularly off the back wall.
Play it again.
Dave, I noticed watching you play and watching some of these other matches
16,
that
21.
these floors seem to really grab the ball. You can really hop the ball pretty big on these courts and with this R48 ball.
Point.
Yeah, it's a combination of some loose boards on the ground. The floor isn't completely solid, but the walls are. So I believe that if you're a hop artist, you're gonna see some major hook here. And I know John Bike is listening from about 15 feet away from us. He has a huge natural hook. These floors are they're not bad bounces, but you can tell it's softer, Dave. And I know when you step in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. The walls are solid as can be, so you're gonna get a lot of spin, and then you're gonna get a lot of absorption with that serve. So somebody that can spin the ball is gonna get some points. I know certainly I got Dan Armijo fooled a lot today, maybe 9 aces or so in our match.
You really had him fooled on that 26 point.
That was the best serve of the game. You know, that's one of those things where the ref calls the score and you end up serving it.
Well, you just fooled him. I mean, I didn't say how you fooled him.
That would, my luck would have been to serve that into the ground or.
Yeah. Well, it was a freebie, actually. It was kind of like an and one in the NBA where if you did serve it to the ground, you were just practicing. If it made it over the line, it counts, and you're in the showers. I was actually requested, Dave, by your opponent to go and find you when you took that elevator. And this place, Dave, is so expansive with so many locker rooms. I went into about 3 or 4 and didn't find you.
Yeah, I went into the women's locker room and I knew you wouldn't look there.
Okay.
It served a dual purpose, but nonetheless.
Side out. 17, serves 21.
Beautiful shot there from Andy, scraping that back wall shot off the left side wall. Oh, an amazing diving re-kill from Andy. Vic put a huge reverse on that, Dave, with his left hand. The ball hopped away from Andy.
21.
Andy waited on it. I don't know if we have instant replay capability here, but Andy waits on it, Dave, dives after the ball is hopped and uses the spin of the ball and directs it into that left corner, and it just stays down. Vic has no play on it. And it has to be demoralizing there for Vic because he hit a great shot. He hit 2 great shots in a row, actually.
That's sort of like a receiver in football who likes to jump up in the air and grab the ball and then fall down to the ground instead of trying to recover and run. Andy was sort of protecting his own control of his body.
Okay.
He goes down there and waits so the control and the center of gravity is dead center on that ball. And then he pushes it in and then falls down to the ground. I mean, certainly he could have hit that ball on the run, but then he wouldn't have had the same type of control. Let's see what he does here, though. Now you see how Vic is taking these sort of ill-advised type shots, Dave, because I believe this altitude is...
Well, Dave, in my experience at the altitude, it makes you feel like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I in here? This is miserable. When you can't breathe, it's not a lot of fun.
17, 21.
What I found, though, Dave, is with the altitude, it's not necessarily exhaustion. It's just you get winded, and it takes a couple of minutes to get your wind back, and then you feel pretty good again, but then one more extended rally, and you're back in trouble.
The one thing I can tell you, Dave, just a little advice, and I know you've played at altitude and sea level and all over the world now, but the difference between being out of shape and playing at altitude is just 60 seconds can rejuvenate you at altitude, whereas being out of shape, you could be laid out for, you know, a good 5 to 10 minutes until you recover. So if you can stall or call a timeout or use them effectively, then hope that your opponent also calls timeouts. You can actually get back into your rhythm pretty easy. And I see that Andy Schad is picking his moments to go aggressive, but he's also staying up top. You see how those lackadaisical shots right there from Vic?
Well, Dave, Vic now really playing good ball after looking like he was on a flight back home. Has now tied the score at 21, Dave, and I don't think either of us are surprised that after 46 minutes of play, we're dead even at 21 apiece, going to 25. Win by 2, of course.
21.
Vic goes with this underhand serve to the left.
Here's a back wall setup for Vic.
Wow, nice shot right there from Andy Schad.
And that's the problem, Dave. When you go for the kill off the back wall, I don't know if we have instant replay capability or not, but you go for that back wall kill with your opponent in front of you. If you don't roll it out or drive the ball right at his feet, it's a huge re-kill opportunity, and Andy took advantage of it. You don't want to give Andy Schad re-kill opportunities because that's one of the best aspects of his game. You see Vic Perez feeling good right now, Dave, not even stepping out of the court for a drink of water. He's staying in the court and hitting the ball around during this timeout.
We have one of the best signals we've ever had here in Denver at the Athletic Club. Crystal clear high definition. We are still working out some bugs, and this is bonus coverage, Dave. For those at home that haven't seen you know, the broadcast booth here yet or our set, don't worry, we will. Beautiful replay right there from Tucson Rolling Shutters and Andy Schad calling the timeout. I probably have called him Andy Ned about 4 or 5 times, but that's only because of the muscle memory of my brain. I'll get over it eventually. Andy Schad bringing his beautiful little daughter down here from the East Coast, watching her dad play handball. Wow, you see that ball pop up that Vic just killed?
And Vic hits that with just enough speed and power to catch the front wall sidewall, and it stays down right in front of Andy.
21.
We'll see if that's a turning point, Dave, because Andy had earned the side out. Vic has scored 4 consecutive points.
Terrible return from Andy, and then a worse floored ball right there from Vic, and these are the ones at the very end that count the most.
21.
Well, they all count equally, but you certainly remember the ones at the end a lot more than you do at the beginning. That's a beautiful Z serve from Andy.
That was impossible. Vic has to step in and punch that ball, Dave.
Well, it looked like it was going to clip the back wall, then the sidewall, and give Vic an opening, but it didn't. It just came out parallel. And that's what you were saying Vic should have done there, but
Schad and his partner Dan Zimmett just defeated John Robles and Chris Watkins at the Master 40 doubles. This guy's a national champion right here, 2 years in a row.
Many times over a national champion. Also refining his three-wall game, Dave, playing a lot of three-wall in Columbia, Maryland. He says that's helped his four-wall game a lot. Made him a little bit more aggressive. And a beautiful left-hand kill from Vic Perez. Vic, Dave, nearly ambidextrous. I've seen him hit some incredible reverses, power reverses with his left, and also some flat rollouts here today with his left.
I like that shot. That's another thing, Dave, is that this ball's really flying at this elevation. It's a lot like hitting a home run at Coors Field.
Okay.
I mean, you do not have to hit this ceiling ball too hard, and I think we're going to get a timeout, probably much needed. Andy Schad is a chiseled veteran at this game. He knows the gamesmanship. He knows here at 23, he calls a timeout, he's serving, he's going to have a ton of energy for the next 20, 30 shots, no matter how long these rallies go. He's going to be rejuvenated when he steps back in there. He only needs a good serve, a good first strike, and he might be serving at game match point, and he'll be in the money with this next win.
That's right, Dave. At the very least, the winner of this match is in the round of 16 tomorrow. Now, if he were to win the next match later today, he would be facing one of the 9 through 12 guys, or excuse me, the 5 through 8 guys. If he were to lose, he'd face a 1 through 4 guy, but still a lot of work to be done here.
Terrible serve right there from Andy.
That's a worse second shot from Andy.
Andy made 2 terrible shots. Yeah. Dave, that serve was not good at all.
No.
And he's lucky Vic didn't blow it past him down the right wall.
Well, it didn't matter because Vic won the shot, won the rally with the next shot.
You see Andy's ceiling game is really good right now. It seems like he has it pegged. He has Vic right on the back wall.
Well, both these guys, Dave, incredible control with the ceiling ball. And you see a fist pump there from Vic Perez.
I don't think I blame him for that fist pump. That's a gutsy shot. I mean, it's one that you have to take anyway, but still gutsy in the sense that he put it right in the spot that he needed to. If he misses that, he finds himself returning the serve at 23. Instead, now he's serving at 22.
But then again, if you don't take that shot, you may not get another opportunity.
Yeah. It's gutsy, but apropos at the same time.
22, 23.
So what you're saying is that win against Dan Armijo, I'm in the money.
That's right. And you're now a ranked pro. Congratulations.
Thank you. But I'm also going to say this. I'm going to donate whatever the winnings are, because I believe I'll also be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoffs. I'm going to donate that money to the WPH youth program that you are now heading, Dave.
That's
so
very generous.
I think this for the first time will give you an opportunity to actually root for me, which has never been done before. And look at that shot from Andy Schad. You know, one of the things I really admire here is all the old guys in the club are watching Andy Schad play. You know, like John Bike. He's watching Andy Schad play right now. He's rooting for the old 40-plussers. John flew in early just to watch Dan Armijo play myself. I mean, that's a guy that's dedicated. When John Bike got inducted, actually announced that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I called him up and said, is that as a contributor or as a player? And you can see that contribution part's going on right now with Bike here. Watching that shot from Andy Schad, and if he hits that, he's serving at match point.
Is Andy going for the kill there, Dave? Because it looked like he was going for a 2-wall scoop shot and just completely mishit it.
Well, he almost mishit it right in. I don't think he was technically going for it, but look how good his ceiling game is, though. Pushing Vic right into the proper spot.
This is old school handball, Dave. Both guys masterful roof technicians. And Dave, it's not easy to play these shots to the roof with that kind of consistency and accuracy. And you'd think the last place you would see it would be here, Dave, where the ball is flying
23,
so quickly
23.
through the air, even harder to control. Oh, and look at Vic, Dave, go for that back wall kill, pinned in the left corner. He puts his butt into the left side wall, gets his right hand on it, and flat kills it front wall, side wall.
23.
Beautiful swing from Andy there, Dave. You see how he coils his shoulders there. He put everything he had into that pass shot down the right wall. That was an overhand spike pass.
23.
Dave, he hit that at 79 miles per hour after 55 minutes of play here.
I think that was a smart shot from Schad.
Andy has to be frustrated with himself there, Dave, because he had that point in his grasp. He let it slip away,
23.
and he gives away his 4th chance to win the 24th point.
Oh, and Andy Schad just kind of feathered it up there, hoping the ball would just slide in for a nice kill shot instead. Here it is. Match point for Vic Perez.
I believe Andy has 1 timeout remaining,
24.
Dave, but he doesn't take it. And that was an incredible left paddle kill down the left wall from Vic Perez. Vic goes for a big reverse there, and a lot of times, Dave, when you go for that power reverse, it does come up short, and that's what happened there. We'll see what kind of second serve he hits here.
Well, his second serve is always right in.
Okay.
He doesn't go for a power second serve. Sometimes he goes with this serve on his first serve, so.
That was a very good serve. And that could have been an avoidable there, Dave.
No, he mishit it. He didn't hit, it looked like he hit Andy, but what happened was he topped it off the top of his right hand.
23.
I think Andy kind of got in his way, and he maybe froze just a little bit.
Well, I think he might have changed his shot selection there when Andy jumped in his way.
I don't know if that can be considered an avoidable. I heard you say it one time before, but I don't think so. Right, there's an avoidable. That's an avoidable there.
That was close, Dave. I'd like to hear...
Well, he has a back wall setup.
Well, I'd like to hear John Bike's analysis of that play there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
John does agree with you there, Dave.
Well, that's the first time, but... Oh, nice. Andy Schad. I mean, 6 degrees of separation and, you know, the revolving door or the whatever they call this, but that could have been the match right there. That was an avoidable.
Well, you have to win by 2.
That would have been the second point.
Well, it's 24 all.
I know, but he would have got, okay.
Yeah. You can concede.
I'm not going to, though.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
And Dave, I hate to make this all about me, but I do have 28-26 on my bracket. I know you're already eliminated at 25-22. So basically, I've only got Jeff Helam to contend with, Dave, who does have 26-24.
Well, we are going to go into overtime here, and that's a given fact. You have to win by 2, so either the score line is going to be 26-24 by one of these players, or you're going to see this go on indefinitely. They have now officially been in the 20s for over 20 minutes. We're talking about 8 combined points.
And that's the right shot there from Vic.
Wow, Vic, that was an unbelievable shot.
You see a lot of guys there maybe go to the ceiling and hit a wraparound. He knows he's got Andy pinned behind him, but he spikes it straight down the right. Great shot.
Here it is, match point. But he still had to thread the needle. He had to thread the needle, Dave, and it was still a great shot. Here at 25 game point and match point. Serves 4.
And another second serve here. Vic unable to locate that first serve on match point.
See what this could be it. And it is. There it is.
And Andy played that too safe, Dave, off the back wall with his left hand. and Vic takes advantage. Andy had a back wall opportunity with his left hand there. He played sort of a soft scoop, just trying to get the ball back into play. Vic got himself in a perfect position there, Dave, and just kills that ball and ends the match in style. So, Dave, 57 minutes, Vic wins in overtime. That's our second consecutive overtime match here in 2 matches.
But that's the reason why we're doing these broadcasts,
Okay.
Dave, and that's one of the reasons why we came to Denver, Colorado. You know, that's been the hype about this tournament, is that it's simply one of the best stops that we've ever seen on these Race for 8 tours. We take a look back at this final replay. Andy really came up fast because he knew what Vic was going to do, and he was there, but he skipped it in. Now, he didn't leave his body. I think if he would have left his body and put more into that, he could have got to the front wall. Instead, he tried to flat roll it.
Well, Dave, watching it from above the court here, I thought Vic had killed that ball, but Andy had a great opportunity to re-kill, and he comes up about 2 inches short, and that 2 inches, Dave, is the difference between Andy serving to stay in this match and now on his way home.
Let's take a quick look at this handy-dandy live broadcast sheet that we have. It looks like I've got the wrong one, so that's simply not the right one. Dave, I have to look to see what we have coming up next, but Andy Schad actually thought he was still in the match. That's why he cleaned the court. He's been walking around wondering what's going on, and I was going to bring that up. Looks like we have Munson and Maring coming up next, which is going to be an interesting match. Now, Dave Munson qualified years ago and has been floating around as one of the elite players up in Chicago and the upper Midwest. Of course, those that haven't watched him on a live broadcast have missed out on some really cool handball. Dave, you've played him before multiple times in tournaments, I'm sure in Milwaukee and maybe in Chicago, but what can you say about Dave Munson as we'll take a quick break here in a minute and come back, but I want to talk about these 2 players.
Well, Dave's an explosive player. He's one of these guys, Dave, like a lot of guys in Chicago, that when he gets hot, he's really one of the best players out there in the sport, particularly in that sort of qualifier range. He did have shoulder surgery about 1.5 years ago, so we haven't seen him. He said he's finally worked his way back, running into him before his match today. Had a chance to chat with him, Dave, but he's a guy that's got a great serve, a really strong right-hand kill, and he plays really smart handball, Dave. So he's definitely, I don't know if you want to call him a dangerous floater, Dave, but he's dangerous to anybody in this qualifier draw. And I can tell you, Dave, that any of the top seeds here in this qualifier did not want to see his name in their bracket.
And oddly enough, there's also some other players that are top players that just don't know who Dave Munson is because he just hasn't been on the scene. I think you and I do, but there's some younger guys here that have been playing good ball. Never met him before. Shorty Ruiz, didn't know who he was. Abraham Montijo, not completely uncertain of who Dave Munson is. And I think that will work into Dave Munson's favor because I don't believe he's the type of guy that really cares who he's playing. He's going to go in there and play his game. Some of the younger guys might be affected, I'm not sure. You're watching the WPH live broadcast of this Pro Stop, Race for 8 and Senior Tour, which kicks off tomorrow. Right now it's the qualifier with bonus coverage today. Dave Munson versus Bear Maring here in Denver, Colorado. Vic Perez will be playing either Eric Plummer or John Bike later on in the 5 o'clock qualifier final.
Oh, that's if Dave is okay.
Abraham Montijo, if he were to continue on with his #1 seed of his bracket, he would be going up against the winner of this one, either Munson or Bear Maring. And as we look at that bottom bracket, it's Shorty Ruiz against Mike Schneider. That one's going to be a live broadcast after this, I believe, or in a couple hours. That's going to be a great match to watch.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
And then we have Chip Morales versus Nick Mosley, who is close sparring partners and friends with Sean Lenning. He's an actually very good player. Watched him play up in Seattle one year.
And you know, Dave,
that could be a big match.
Chip has not played in a qualifier in 12 months, and he hasn't won a main draw match in 12 months either. So maybe the qualifier is what he needs to get himself back on track after this horrible slump that he's been in. He's dropped out of that Elite 8 status. He's kind of in a free-for-all right now, Dave. He's still defending points here from last year's LAAC, so it's going to be hard for him to even maintain his ranking that he has right now after this event, even if he were to qualify. But Dave, we are going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back in just about 10 minutes for this next round of 16 bonus coverage match between Chicago's Dave Munson and the local favorite here, Bear Marin.
We'll be back in just a bit. Stay here for Dave Fink. I'm Dave Vincent at racefor8.com.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.